I believe this is the man who can do it, Tom Horner.
Thank you very much for taking the time. Thank you. That was great. Well, thank you very much. I'm very flattered by Dave's very generous comments. Very appreciative of everyone who showed up. Let me introduce my wife, Libby, who gets emotional at events like this, and my children, Christopher, Kevin, and Amanda. Thanks to former Congressman Tim Penny, my campaign manager, Steve Emholt, and to everybody who is out here. For the past few days since the Republican-Democratic conventions, we've heard from Minnesota Democrats and Republicans that this governor's race, perhaps like none before, presents a stark choice. And I agree, but for reasons very different from what they offer. The clear choice in 2010 is not whether we should tax more, as Democrats propose, or spend less, as Republicans advocate. The compelling choice in 2010 is this: will we continue the same political fights of the last 8 years, Democrats and Republicans fighting over who is right rather than doing what is right? Look at what this political catfight has delivered to the state of Minnesota. Job growth and our individual prosperity have lagged the nation through most of this decade, in good years and in bad. We have a generation of kids who are growing up at risk of growing up poor, less healthy, and less educated than their parents. And the new governor will face a budget shortfall of up to $7 billion next year. Minnesota must move forward in the next 4 years through reform, innovation, and new leadership. That's the vision I bring to my candidacy. I'm not a candidate because it has been my lifelong ambition. I've never had a great desire to run for office, least of all governor. But several months ago, when Libby and I started to talk about our state and all that it has meant to us, we saw in today's political environment the very real likelihood that if Minnesota continues on the path we are on, our kids and others of their generation won't benefit from the same kind of Minnesota that has meant so much to Libby and me and to other parents. That's a tragedy, and it's an unnecessary tragedy. I'm running for governor because I believe a professional career in public policy, in community service, and in starting and operating a successful business is the preparation for leadership that creates a clear vision and brings together the best people and the best ideas to build on the strengths and assets of our state and to make Minnesota a state that is great for all Minnesotans. So here's what I offer: an economic strategy that builds on our innovation and makes Minnesota the knowledge state. Give cutting-edge industries in life sciences, energy, and technology the tools and the talent to grow, while we also reinvigorate the state's traditional job generators in natural resources, retail, financial services, hospitality, and other areas. Among other policies, this will require tax reform. Not just cutting taxes here or raising them there, but a thoughtful, comprehensive approach to tax policy that removes the barriers to job creation, looks thoughtfully at all the tax expenditures, the deductions, credits, and special breaks, and raises revenues in ways that are fair and appropriate to today's economy. We need a new approach to education. Measure progress by what a child knows, not by what can get done in a 6-hour day or a 9-month school year. This reform will require more site-based control, ever-learning teachers, greater investment in online learning, both in and out of the classrooms, and yes, flexibility from the unions. We need to change everyone's expectations of government. Not every problem has a government solution, and not every government program deserves a permanent lifeline. We need to set priorities, fund them adequately, and get rid of those programs that aren't working. If Minnesotans are willing to share this vision with me, then together we can rebuild Minnesota, creating new, well-paying jobs for the more than 200,000 Minnesotans who are still out of work, and the hundreds of thousands more who are underemployed or who are working 2 or 3 jobs to make one decent salary. We need to make sure that every child starts school prepared to learn and finishes 12th grade prepared for success in whatever their next phase of life. And that we have a government that does well at what it is essential to do, and a government that helps people at the times of their lives when they are most vulnerable. The biggest challenge in the next 4 years is not to fix government. The biggest challenge is to fix Minnesota, to once again make us a state of innovation, a state of economic opportunity, a state of knowledge. Minnesotans don't have a long history with the Independence Party, but our best days as a state always have come when we have had the leadership that is independent thinking. That is both the opportunity and the need for 2010. And with that, I'm delighted to take your questions.